Welcome to Tech in the Car. I am Oliver, and these are the new 2023 Kia Xceed models. I've got the plug-in hybrid version here. I've got the petrol version here. These cars have been designed and made for Europe. They've been designed in Kia's design studio in Frankfurt, Germany. They've been built in Zelina, Slovakia at Kia's factory, and they've been tested and designed for the roads in Europe, including the UK, where I am now. You know it's the UK because it's a cloudy day and it's probably going to rain in a second. That's how you know when something's filmed in the UK. These cars are very, very important to Kia. Behind the Niro and the Sportage, which I have videos on this channel, so check them out. This is the third best-selling car for Kia in the UK. And in fact, the Xceed is the best-selling out of the Ceed family. So it's super, super important that these cars are successful. So what do we have here today? We have the 1.5 litre petrol version, and then we've got the 1.6 litre plug-in hybrid version here, which has a 8.9 kilowatt hour battery, which puts out 44.5 kilowatts. And this has an electric only range of around 33 miles. That's really, really important. Like I've said before, when talking about plug-in hybrids in the city, when you want to get around and you don't want to rely on petrol only, it gives you great efficiency. And 33 miles isn't a huge amount, but for a hybrid it is fantastic. If it was electric only, no thank you, but for a hybrid it's really, really good. So we've got fantastic efficiency from here, and being a plug-in hybrid, it means it's probably going to have better performance as well when you drive it, and you'll see about that later on in this video. And this car being petrol, if you're after petrol, this petrol car is available to you too. There are 4 trims available, and we've got a new GT line and a GT line S, and this is the 3 trim. Now at the front here, there are some differences between these two cars, as you probably, hopefully can see. The first thing you might note is the surround on this new grille. So this is a reworked grille for this year, and on this car, the 3 trim, you see it's got a matte silver finish, but on the GT line trim, you'll see it's got a sort of dark chrome finish, which is very, very good to look at. I really, really like that. That continues down here as well. There are also some changes down here with the vents on the side. So these are a different design on this car. So this car is actually a blade here on this car, and on this car there's no blade. So there are some design differences there, and these are all new LED headlights, standard LED headlights on these new models, which means they have a really distinct new look. And that is part of the new redesign on these cars. There are only 2 panels on these cars that are the same as on the other Ceed models, and that's these 2, the front doors. Everything else is totally different and reworked on these cars. The plug-in hybrid has slightly less power than the petrol version. We've got about 130 horsepower compared to 150-ish horsepower in the petrol version, but it is actually faster to 60, probably because of that instant torque from the electric motor. It can do it in about 10 seconds compared to around 12 seconds, so it is faster. Down the side here we have a charging port. We've got 2 hours and 15 minutes to fully charge the electric battery, but don't worry if you don't, because it is a hybrid, so it will still work off the petrol engine. Also down the side here, you can see there's some interesting design choices, including this really interesting little cutout between the front and rear doors. I mean, it's very distinctive. To be honest, I only just noticed this, so it's interesting. I like little details like that, which is very, very fun to see. And then we've got this, again, this matte chrome here, which I like. So we got this finish here. And then the back, of course, we have the typical, as you would expect, petrol cap. Now, there are some compromises in terms of size, because there is a battery back there. There's less space in the boot. We have 291 litres of boot space back there compared to the petrol version, which has 426 litres of boot space. So you are losing out on boot space, but gaining with that 33.5 miles of electric only range and improved efficiency and slightly better performance. So you need to decide what works best for you. Now, in terms of wheel designs, we've got a 16-inch wheel design here, which is very aerodynamic to reduce drag and increase the range. However, on the GT line version, there is a much more sporty, larger 18-inch alloy wheel design, which I think looks very, very cool and helps refresh the look of the new Xceed. At the rear of the new Xceed, there are some changes. Now, the first thing you'll notice is these really cool tail lights, and I love this design. There's little individual LEDs. They kind of look a bit, it looks a bit like a bee's nest, right? It looks like it would be in honeycomb or something. I really, really like that. You don't get that on the 3 trim. It's a more traditional standard design, but interesting different designs. It's very rare to see intricate designs on tail lights like these, so that's a nice thing that they've done. The other thing that's changed on the new Xceed is, of course, we've got new black skid plates on the back here. We've got a new diffuser as well. Only 2 panels are the same as on the other Xceed models, and that is the front doors. Now we're at the back of the car. What about space back here? How much space is there in the back of the Xceed? 426 litres of space back here. We've got a bit of space here. This would be where the spare tyre was, but there is no spare tyre in here, so you can actually store some stuff down there as well. We've got hooks, we've got tether points. Obviously you've got this is a hatchback, so it's obviously very easy to get stuff in. So practical is definitely on that list of things that this car has, and something which is really, really important, obviously, in this sector. This is the interior of the GT Line S petrol version of the car, and you can see the interior is very, very nice. It feels good quality everywhere. We've got soft touch plastics. It just feels very, very nice. It's not the ultra modern new design that Kia have with 2 digital displays like on the Sportage and the Niro, and also on the EV6, which was where it was first seen, but it still has the best of everything. We've got these really nice GT Line sport seats which have an Alcantara suede finish here, and we've got these cool cutouts under the headrest. We've got a really nice steering wheel which has got a sporty silvery bit in the middle, which has got our assistance controls and our phone controls and media controls. We've got a 10.25-inch display in the middle here, which comes with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as standard, as well as a reversing camera, which is also standard on these cars. And then on the GT Line S, we have a 12.3-inch digital driver's display in the middle, which you can use and shows you more information in more detail than you can get on the standard analog dials, which are available on the other models. Interior wise, in the middle here, we've got these cool temperature control knobs, which actually have the temperature in the middle, which is like on an Audi R8. Very cool looking. And we've got all our climate controls, physical buttons here, very easy to use. Heated steering wheel, heated seats, very, very nice in here. We've got wireless charging, which is where I put my phone. Nice little tray above actually the charging ports, where we've got a USB Type-C, we've got a USB Type-A, and we've got a 12 volt as well. This is a manual car, but the hybrid version, plug-in hybrid version, is an automatic, and we've got our auto start buttons, and we've also got, by standard, reversing cameras on all of the models in this range of the Kia Xceed. We've got 2 cup holders, we've got a space here which I filled up with all my stuff, so you've got extra storage there. We've got auto hold and a parking brake. This is the key, typical Kia key. Very, very nice build quality itself. We've got a glove compartment. It's just a generally very, very nice interior. This car also has a panoramic glass sunroof. If you're buying a car, I personally cannot stress enough how much I would recommend a sunroof. It adds a lot of light and makes the interior feel much better in your car. So please, if you're buying a car and you've got the option of a sunroof, consider it, because it's definitely worth it, or a glass roof on an EV. So that is the interior of the Kia Xceed. This, like I said, is a GT Line S model. The 3 trim is very, very similar. It just doesn't have this digital driver's display in the middle, and it won't have seats that are electric with controls to let you set the positioning. That's basically it on the interior. At the back here, we've got plenty of space. I'm 1.78 meters, so I feel that there's space here for my knees, space here for my head. It's got a comfortable feeling back here. These seats are fairly comfortable. You know, I feel like I've got enough support. The only thing I'd say is a bit dark back here. I really think this sunroof is bringing the light up inside the cabin. If it was not there, it would be very, very dark back here. I mean, really dark. I'm not sure I'd want to sit back here without any kind of sunroof there. We've got a USB Type-C charger down there. We've got nets here, and we do have 2 cup holders back here, and this can pass through as well. So if you want to put through your, I don't know, your IKEA shopping from the back here, you do have that ability as well, and these seats can go down. So back here it is quite roomy. It's just a tiny bit dark, and it just feels a tiny bit cramped to me in terms of the space here. However, as you can see physically, that's not a problem. There's plenty of space for me back here. It's just, I think it's just the darkness back here, which is a shame. It's always nice to have a light interior at the back, but in terms of space, no issues at all. Very comfortable. Same with the front. Here we are inside the new Kia Xceed. So this car, as I said earlier in the video, was built for Europe, designed in Europe, and tested in Europe. in Slovakia, designed in Germany, and tested including in the UK. This car is the hybrid version, so the plug-in hybrid version of the car, which allows me to have some electric only range of around 33 miles, which is really, really good. It means we've got a much more efficient car, which gives you better range and just better for the environment as well. And Kia are really, really big into electrification and into hybrid cars, and there's a hybrid car in every range that is not an EV, not solely an EV. So this is something which Kia are very proud of. It actually has at the front here a display for electric charging, just like on the EV6 and the other cars which are hybrids in the Kia range. So how does this car handle? This car is running on 16-inch wheels. There are 18-inch wheels available on the other trims. This is the 3 trim, so we don't have an all-digital driver display. That's only on the GT Line S. In terms of handling, you know, it's riding the bumps in the road very, very well. It feels like it was designed for European roads. It feels like it was designed for UK roads. There are no, you know, undulations aren't a problem, bumps aren't a problem. Obviously, talking and speaking and recording video is not always very easy, so you can hear when I'm speaking and I'm going for a bump sometimes. But it is a very comfortable riding car. It's got tons of space. Now, in terms of performance, this car is faster than the petrol version. So, you know, this car is really flat in the corners. I'm very impressed with the corner handling of these cars, of both the plug-in hybrid and also the petrol version. They go around the corners really sportingly. I mean, like, I'm very impressed. They don't lean at all. They feel, you know, this car is being redesigned to be a sporty looking car, and it definitely feels like a sporty car when you're driving it. There's no doubt about it, and so does the petrol version of this car. I think what to take from these cars these are both very good cars, very capable cars, whatever trim they're in, whether they're petrol or the hybrid model, and they give you the latest technology, including widescreen Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, all the latest safety features, and they've got lots of space in the back. Yes, you're compromising a bit on the hybrid version for space in the rear, but in the boot, or in the hatch, I should say. But overall, if you look at it as a package, these cars are very good cars. This car's a bit more expensive, around £32,000, but it has the best of everything. Kia has something for everyone. So that's what I would take from these cars. If you're after an Xceed, then you need to decide whether you want the hybrid or whether you want the petrol version. I personally would suggest a hybrid because it gives you better range, including electric only range, but they're very similar cars. They handle sporty, they feel fun to drive, and they are very, very impressive. That is the new Kia Xceed. You've seen what I think when I've been driving it. I think these cars are really good value, and they have a lot of options. And Kia have a car, it seems, in every category for every single person. And the things that Kia are doing with design and technology are really class leading, in my opinion. I have videos on the new Sportage and on the new Nero, and also on the EV6, and pretty much every other Kia you can think of on this channel, so please do check them out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a like if you did. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.